afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. And we'll be having a 1 versus 1 on Semois. Yes, indeed, Semois. And we have the Coming Heroes 2 beta in progress. I've handed out all the keys I have. So, of course, if you want in, either you pre-order now or you wait for the other beta stages where you might have a chance of getting in otherwise. And no, I will not be casting Coming Heroes 2 right away. I will only be able to do so in case there might be some sort of, well, reason made for it. It will probably happen later in the beta stage, but for now, nothing. We shall be watching WmDDevm fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS. Opposing him shall be Symbiosis, fighting for the Americans, and the 1st Infantry Division shall be a brutal and gory fight here in the streets of Semois. We shall be watching a standard start from both players, 2 pioneers, engineers, Wehrmacht quarters, and... No, never mind, oh dear, Dane fell for it. We're actually seeing a 4 engineers start up from Symbiosis, absolutely poorly spotted by me. That was definitely horrible, and I take full fault for that one. But we are seeing a 4 engineers start with barracks. Obviously, Symbiosis is intending to take away as much territory from WmDDevm within the first few minutes as possible. In the meanwhile, WmDDevm, of course, expecting nothing as sinister as that, starts out with a more regular Volksgrenadiers start. Some Deutsches Infantry ready to take on the Amerikanen. Points, though, are being secured left, right, and centre. So far, so good. We are seeing an MG42 going to follow up on that squad of Volksgrenadiers for WmDDevm. There we go. Barracks up. Rifleman will be on the way for Symbiosis. Point secure there. Point secure there. Lovely. Lovely.
You need any construction?
Alles gut, mein Herr. So, all a bit quiet so far, no real engagements, Engineers, of course, were not, in actual sense, equal to the German pioneers. In the war, the engineers were rather more building units, whereas the pioneers were actually also combat frontline units. In fact, they were tended to be seen as better troops than, say, the regular grenadiers. In some sense, in this case, they seem more to be, pioneers, but there you go. Still, pioneers were in the actual war quite nasty troops. And while there certainly were also more specific ones that were not quite as combat troops, the usually ones found in the Infantry Division or Fighting Division were usually combat troops themselves. Engineers going in right there for the kill on the pioneers, slightly pushing them back. MG42 Seneca position, Overwatch on the cemetery, ready to inter anyone that moves in there. Or at least, find someone to do the job. Possibly some Frenchmen. And meanwhile, Pioneers still doing their best to hold up Symbiosis' engineers right here by the fuel point. Although we do see a rifleman squad pushing in from Symbiosis' first unit up. Engineers taking up a swift position within the church, realizing what's going on and quickly getting the devil out of there. And meanwhile, the Pioneers continue to be under fire here. Munitions going to fall to Symbiosis. In the meanwhile, engineers hanging about here in the south as well. What shall be next for WmDDevm? Apparently, a second squad of Volksgrenadiers has arrived. It is moving up here, laying down some sandbags, preparing some sort of position for the advance of Symbiosis, ready to lay down their lives for the fatherland. Pioneer down. WmDDevm could consider retreating. There we go. Rifleman coming under fire from the Volksgrenadiers. Behind their nice heavy cover, laid down by themselves. Looks like WmDDevm might be trying for a cutoff here, but his MG42 advanced a bit too far ahead. The Volksgrenadiers had not scouted the way, and they encountered Rifleman in the market square, delivering and supplying death in high quantity. And we're seeing a flamethrower squad out for Symbiosis. The 4 engineer start is quite reliant on you equipping a lot of those engineers with flamethrowers. Volksgrenadier down, flamethrowers pushing up. MG42 trying to get as quickly as far away from the fire. And meanwhile, further fighting continues up here. Engineers pushing in. Pioneers attempting to lay down a mine, but they do get overwhelmed by the engineers.
The enemy advances.
Pioneers sneaking in there, going to get dispatched with haste by the engineers, likely, or at least attempted to be dispatched with haste. Fuel going to be falling to the Wehrmacht. A sniper on the way to 2 Volksgrenadiers. MG sniper for WmDDevm. Seems pretty standard, although we do see a Jeep now rolling out for Symbiosis. Beep, beep, watch out for the Jeep.
We're losing territory.
Volksgrenadiers here doing their best against the engineers. Riflemen supporting the Jeep. Could prove to be a nasty surprise right there for WmDDevm's troops, and of course also going to keep that sniper a bit under control. And we're seeing a 3rd squad of Volksgrenadiers now. This is actually a slightly more novel tier 1 than 3 Volksgrenadiers sniper MG Bit more of an offensive one, bit more of a solid tier 1. Could of course also be quickly rendered some problems with a swift armored car rush from Symbiosis, but not likely to happen. But there we go, Sniper has revealed himself. Now of course the question becomes, what will Symbiosis' response be to the appearance of the Sniper? Folks, going to see the range a bit up front. We also see a nice sandbag position already laid up, so in case you know of someone trying to go for this point, they can take heavy cover. But of course it's a Jeep, and slight problem here from DevM. It is just beyond of the machine gun bunker, so the Americans can actually just use the heavy cover to actually hold back the Germans. Folks, though, are moving in against the Jeep. Might be forcing it back right there, and there we go. Advance towards the fuel point. The fuel point does get into neutral. DevM is without much fuel. Now that's definitely going to hurt him. Although he's actually managed to store an impressive lot already. More sandbags being laid down there by DevM. Further fighting going in. A sniper moving in a bit too closely and quickly getting run off before he actually suffers any shots in the face. At the same time, looks like Symbiosis might be going for the armor car. We do see a supply going up. Question is Symbiosis actually aware of the amount of troops that DevM has actually invested in? Because that would definitely be a signal for Symbiosis to get an armored car and simply rush it straight at him. Then again, I mean, Symbiosis is already holding a large part of the map, so any armored car attempt would definitely still have an advantage. Oh, damn hiccups. Curse you. The sniper moving up there, providing some fire support for the Volksgrenadiers, leaping between bits of heavy cover. Jeep moving in, might try and go for the kill on the sniper, but the Volksgrenadiers seem to be able to sort of keep a nice, how should we say, security position, ensuring the Jeep can't get past them without getting panzerfausted, which is good. Meanwhile, wiring going on there, lots of troops seem to be hanging about there, might want to move up there. No further attempt at pushing through, and I mean, the interesting thing is, Symbiosis could actually detail a decent force to push in through the center and actually possibly force DevM from there as well. Jeep actually moving into the base. We do see the Pioneers. They're a bit vulnerable. Sniper getting into the bunker, but the Pioneers building the creep bags are actually quite vulnerable. And there we go. Symbiosis now knows that DevM is building the creep bags. He also knows it's not going to happen right away because he just killed the Pioneers building it. So in that sense, Symbiosis can control things a bit right here. Nice move. We do see some other Pioneers moving in there. Another Pioneer squad pops out. Motor pool is going up, but at the same time, I mean, he knows he's a bit limited. And there we go. Jeep in a nasty position. He's trying to go and get the sniper, but he could get panzerfausted. Jeep's engine is damaged. It's on fire. It's out of control, and it blows up, sending American crew members all over the place like huge ragdolls being blown out of a Jeep. Because that happens a lot. But Kriegbergs is up for DevM. Lovely. Sniper moving up. Sniper moving back. Kampfkraft sends up for DevM. Like we'll be seeing an armor cart soon. Rifling up in the church. Possibly praying. Since there's obviously no enemy nearby, so actually serve any purpose. Minesweeper's up for Symbiosis. Nice move there to counter any mines let down by DevM. Pushing into the center once more. MG supporting. Catching the rifle in the center. Quickly suppressing them. Killing one of the bastards. Pioneers will come out soon to get a Flammenwerfer. And we are seeing more infantry moving towards there. Fighting though continues towards the fuel point there. Has been able to hold on to it for quite a bit of a while. And there we go. Armored car rolling out. Pack not there yet for DevM. Instead, we do see a Kampfkraft Center and Veterans one, so that's actually going to delay any anti-tank assets. And there we go, quickly cancelling and instead going for the pack to try and deal with the Greyhound, currently causing DevM, quite a bit of havoc. And the 50 caliber now appears, increasing the firepower further of the Greyhound, making it that much more of a menace to the Volksgrenadiers. And we could see DevM losing the entire squad of the Volksgrenadiers. Center though is falling to the Germans. The 17th SS is pushing forwards quite nicely. And of course, fun thing about the 50 caliber, it was actually originally intended as an anti-tank weapon. They never quite achieved that. Same thing actually applies to the Greyhound. That was also intended as a tank destroyer. The Americans really had some curious ideas of what this tank destruction actually involved, it seems, and at least in the beginning of the war. Always found that a bit mildly entertaining. Greyhound though moving in to support here, pushing in, doing quite a bit of damage. Full squad on fire, could very much go down to 2 men in incredibly low health. Flamethrower, riflemen pushing through the MG fire, undeterred by the torrent of bullets being unleashed against them like drops of rain going in really, really fast. Pack is up here, guarding against the Greyhound, but of course, Symbiosis, being a good Greyhound user, has already shifted towards another front, making it very difficult for DevM to actually react with his pack. So, good move right there by Symbiosis. And of course, if he's really clever, then of course try switching elsewhere and hoping the pack is not there. But now he might actually be striking too swiftly right here and then run into the pack, which is less fortunate. Fighting continues in the center. MG42 supported by Volkswagen and Pioneers, in fact holding it safe, so they currently do much to push on themselves. Flamethrower moving up, veterans in 1-for-1 rifle squad already. And there we go, Volkswagen trying to take it, and there we go, the pack reveals itself. The Greyhound barely survives, that's bloody close. But the fuel will definitely have been held out of DevM's hands for some time. Mine goes off there, killing and pinning numerous American troops. Nicely done right there by DevM. Mining wins wars, as some people like to say. I'm one of those. But definitely some very aggressive play going on from Symbiosis. Now we're going to be seeing that followed up with some Browning automatic rifles. We also see infantry doctrine. We see artillery being prepared to unleash upon the heads of the Krauts, to shatter them, to kill them with the wrath of God personified. MG42 though setting up, Volkswagen hanging out nearby, and now got artillery going in straight on the MG42. Bold attempt right there by Symbiosis, knock it out, will it work? First shot actually kills 2 of the MG gunners. Volkswagen's moving about, and oh my goodness! Rogue strike flew completely out of the angle and hit them right by the tree, wiping out 3 of DevM's Volksgrenadiers, denying him a squad for further combat. Although we do now see some grenadiers also popping out. That was definitely bit of worth the artillery strike, I think, when he actually considered it denied DevM an infantry squad. So, lovely work right there. Sniper, though, adds into this weight of the infantry holding up by the trees. Very nice little engagement right here. But the sniper, again, rather means that Symbiosis will not have the advantage despite having heavy cover and the BARs, because, again, the sniper can much more easily pick them off. So, good for him. Mines going down there, and DevM having mined all the more tricky approaches. He does not necessarily intend to cover directly with infantry. Nice move. At the same time, Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers breaking through in the north. Not really much to stop them, although the Greyhound could swiftly put an end to it. And her tank are now on the way to deal with any Kraut vehicles. He's of course likely expecting something coming out soon from DevM. From the 17th SS. The Volkswagen here, they're running into the Greyhound, taking a bit of fire. 7 kills, but 8 kills on the armoured car. Rifleman and Engineers fighting here. Sniper continues to ply his trade from afar. Grenadiers here running to a problem. We do see a shield granate getting lobbed at the Engineers. Quite nicely right there, killing 2 Engineers outright. And we do see a full retreat from Symbiosis, abandoning the cemetery and the town centre. Greyhound continues its nasty work up here, forcing away the Volksgrenadiers. Map getting more evenly distributed now.
57 crew, ready for orders.
And there you go, the 50cm gun up for Symbiosis. And we do at the same time, more or less, see a Sturm Army going up for DevM. And meanwhile, Grenadiers getting caught up by Riflemen and Flamethrower Engineers in the north. Very nasty, very nasty. Volksgrenadiers nearby, but they are not really much in a fighting condition and might consider just getting their blood. And there we go, Flamethrowers, BARs quickly result in a full retreat right there. Pack moving up, but quickly moving back again. MG42, though, also there, putting a stop to any further American pursuit. The sniper adds injury to insult and kills a few riflemen. Attempt to move through there, quickly stopped by one of DevM's mines. Again, mines can definitely pay off. And can definitely ruin an opponent's advance very, very quickly. question is, of course, what should Symbiosis do now? He could consider getting a tank depot, perhaps, instead. Trying to break through with a few tanks against the German lines and crush them like German bugs.
Ready for orders.
Or he could consider going for the full right-hand side, getting a howitzer. Or he could try and going for the left-hand side, getting Rangers, possibly some off-map combat groups. There are definitely opportunities. Sniper, though, continues to murder Yankees from afar. Greyhound doing a bit here, catching an MG crew, trying to secure the central victory point, while Symbiosis himself is going for the far one. Definitely some intense fighting. Oh, the victory points. There we go. MG taking some nasty damage. Sniper moving in.
Artillery support is now available.
Rifle moving in with the BARs. Oh, the sniper could go down. The sniper could go down. He managed to make it inside the house, but even then, he's still quite vulnerable. I believe a medic pack has been equipped for him, but that was definitely... Oh, there we go. Very lucky the Volkswagen Grenadiers were able to overpower the rifle, and that was bleeding close right there. 4 of them could have very much resulted in a very dead sniper. It looks like a Sturmgeschützspeer has arrived for DevM. The assault gun, which was essentially really the only tank, or the closest thing, the only thing that has ever got to a tank. They did have a few command Panzer IVs, but again, they were mostly for command purposes. They had a few. I mean, I think we were talking about like 3 or 4 all in all. Oh, the pack took a direct hit from an all-map howitzer. Nasty stuff there. Should create a nice opening for Symbiosis if he's actually aware of the damage his howitzer did. Though again, that is the question. But the Stug actually did see several times where it basically was used as an improvised tank because the Germans couldn't muster anything in the area. It did not quite suitably perform in the same parameters of the tank. And certainly should not have been used like it. But there you go. And meanwhile, Grenadiers behind to maybe cover the late down themselves, supported by Volkswagen's Rifle here, getting caught up in trouble. Rifle continuing its now we do see a heavy armor car rolling out for DevM, doing some damage. Greyhound nearby, though, could do some nasty damage. Another thing he actually could consider is actually laying down a Greyhound mine on the packs for any attempt by the Germans to recruit it would result in the destruction of it. Oh dear, he stepped ran into a mine. He's heavily damaged already. And Grenadiers moving in with a Panzergrenadier. Oh, the inhumanity. An absolute shame, an absolute shame, an absolute missed opportunity again. I think if the pack had been mined with a Greyhound mine, again, it could have resulted in some huge losses for DevM if he tried to regain it. And instead might have lost the pack. Oh! Artillery strike got the sniper into Dixon. Artillery actually succeeded in catching something. That is, you know, firing on the main route of movement for your opponent. In this case, he was basically hoping to get lucky with something, and he did. Direct hit on the armor car, knocking out the anti-tank and nearby as well. So in that case, the Greyhound mine would have been a waste, but the Greyhound is lost. Oh, the armored car went down as well. My God, that artillery is unbelievably nasty. And we do see a Stu 42 now arriving for DevM to blow out the Yankees from their hidey holes. In the meanwhile, the Stug supports a northern advance by the infantry, anti-tank and nearby, opening up with some nasty fury. Stu 42 advances, and we do see some pioneers quickly on the job, salvaging for spare parts that can be traded in for munition vouchers from the Wehrmacht headquarters. The artillery strike getting called in the center on the Volkswagen Grenadiers. Oh, nice hit. 2 men dead. The rest quickly leg it. Stu 42 falls away. The engineers. There's definitely some intense fighting now going on all flanks. And Symbiosis is definitely doing some terrible, terrible damage to DevM, though DevM is far from out of the fight. Supply at upgrade number 1 for Symbiosis. You could, of course, also benefit from a medic station. MG42, oh, could get caught in the center. It's on its own. There's no support, although we do now see some Grenadiers pushing in. Flamethrowers force away the MG42 crew, and an artillery strike going in towards the center. Might have been hoping there was something nearby the unit taking the central victory point, but that was perhaps a bit of a wasted barrage. And in fact, notice it actually quickly stopped because he rather feared he might hit his own infantry. And it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is a bit tricky. I mean, Symbiosis has been holding the map for most of the time, but now DevM is making a slow recovery. The question is, I imagine, was the artillery actually worth it, or was perhaps a wasted investment right there by Symbiosis to instead have pushed, and should perhaps instead have pushed for some sort of armoured advantage? Should he have gone for a tank depot? Should he have gone for a Sherman and perhaps some tank destroyer, instead opted for some more mobile fighting? Well, of course, it's too late now to figure out, but I mean, the current situation could perhaps warrant that instead, although again, the artillery has been able to do quite a bit of damage, but again, he needs some more mobility out. He needs something, and partly also to counter those Dukes a bit more seriously. Plus, I suppose, some of the final infantry. Of course, he's not going to be clear walking up for DevM. I mean, he's lost an armoured car, packs, sniper, and some infantry. So, I mean, he's going to have to fight hard, but he does have the armour. Symbiosis does not. He has a single anti-tank, and the current placement of that is a bit dubious. But definitely, I mean, a priority is going to be for Symbiosis to knock out the 2 assault guns and any further ones. Initially, for DevM, it's partly preserving them, but also getting the full use out of them to break through Symbiosis' already a bit thin lines. And I definitely think that he needs to consider getting some Rangers or off-map combat groups out soon. He needs something to buff up the lines with some anti-tank assets to definitely cause some problems for DevM's armor and also his infantry in some sense. It's definitely a bit of a tricky situation. I mean, map control is sort of 50-50. Victory points though slightly to the advantage of the Germans, but it can quickly change. And of course, there's still the howitzer. There is still the howitzer, but again, for now there are the assault guns, and they are definitely going to be a priority target for Symbiosis in bringing down, in particular, that Stu-42. There we go, another Grenadier squad coming out. 4 squads of infantry for DevM. Further harassment. There's definitely been a lot of aggressive harassment going on from the Americans, which is lovely to see. Fighting for the center, the Stu-42 providing support, fire support even. Was usually part of the assault gun brigades, actually, in which case they would usually be organized in a way. So for every Stug platoon, there would be 3 regular Stugs, and then be a single Stu-42. And then usually, if they encountered combined infantry and tanks, the Stu-42 would keep the infantry at bay and deal with them, while the Stugs dealt with the armor, and then of course I would help with the remainders of whatever that was. So fun little fact there on German assault gun tactics in the war. Anti-tanker now has itself revealed right about here. Artillery going in, like it could be up in the center, could it be up in the north? And it is up here, interestingly enough. Believe that wasn't off map, seems a bit of a waste of munitions. And pardon the hiccups. Engineers sneaking about there, nicely done. Again, very lovely harassment going on from the American player, constantly sneaking about, constantly stealing away territory from the Germans. Wunderbar. And a Pioneer squad went down the rifle, getting absolutely torn asunder as high explosive rounds shatter their frail bodies. Volkswagen's making a nice push on the left flank. Artillery firing away again. Likely trying for some fire over here, but again, sometimes it seems like Symbiosis just likes to fire into the blind in the hopes of getting lucky, which is not necessarily the best artillery doctrine, and it's the, oh, I hope I get lucky. Of course, he might still be trying with the interdiction artillery, of course. If he'd fired perhaps a bit later, he might have been able to catch the German infantry right around here, but instead, I mean, now DevM just knows he has to avoid it. It's a slightly, tricky thing with interdiction artillery. And another anti-tanker now out for Symbiosis to add the pressure. Volkswagen's getting close to taking the northern victory point over the Russian riflemen and engineers. going in after Volkswagen's Stu-42 on the hunt for some engineers. Anti-tank guns a bit exposed. Need to be careful. Pushing into the center. Stu-42 supporting the entire thing. And another armored car on the way. Interestingly enough, no armor veterans for DevM, that's actually a bit peculiar. I mean, Veterans 1 would definitely be a good move. And for assault guns, Veterans 2 also gives a benefit besides the MG, that is a health bonus. So really, Veterans 2 would be a really nice move there for DevM. And a Needlewerfer has arrived for the 17th SS to bombard the Americans. Rifleman taking a nasty hit there. Rockets falling in towards the cemetery and the nearby neighborhood. And there we go. Heavy armored car out for DevM. Ooh, nasty grenade right there from the Grenadiers. 242 firing away and getting more riflemen, blowing up the remainders of the cemetery west wall. Nasty stuff.
The Cowboys' victory location is ours now.
We're losing territory.
And the howitzer continues to unleash death, though it's become a lot less accurate because again it's that more hopeful doctrine that Symbiosis has applied in usage of his artillery.
MG in combat.
Blowing up the cemetery. Things are
We have enemy munitions location ready.
not looking so good now for Symbiosis. A lot of the weapons he has are not quite doing as much damage to the Germans as the Germans are doing to them. That's a problem. That's a problem. Another bit of equipment salvaged by the Pioneers. Quite a bit of munitions right there. Another Needlewerfer and Veterans 1, so DevM is actually lining up quite a bit of artillery to employ against the Americans. That's definitely going to cause a headache. Although at the same time, also note he's actually moving about the Needlewerfers, which is really good because otherwise they do risk counter-artillery from the howitzer. Anti-tank guns, though, caught off guard. Armor car could knock it out, although we do see another anti-tank guns opening up, and there we go, though. Anti-tank gun decrewed. Nasty stuff. Tragic stuff. Grenadiers, assault guns, and armor cars fighting against riflemen. Stu 42 might be trying to flank, but instead gets hammered. And artillery flying in towards the church. And looks like we might be seeing an attempt from Symbiosis to break through the south. Lots of engineers being prepared. And an anti-tank gun has been recruited in the name of the United States. Oh, Foster is going to flank about there, and Blitzkrieg assault. Lovely. Lovely. Strategic point there, falling, denying DevM resources, but on the other hand, DevM has secured all 3 victory points. Pretty daring, pretty bold. Small force being sent up here to deal with the Krauts hiding in the north. Though there is the armored car, there will definitely be something needed to deal with that. And again, that'll be the problem. That he's relying on anti-tank guns for all of his anti-air assets, in particular when he has to attack. Not necessarily the most efficient thing. Assault going off against the riflemen, stunning and ruining the assault completely of Symbiosis in the north. Nasty stuff. Incendiary rockets continue to land down there. Wunderbar. And Stug deployed. Another Stug out. And I think Symbiosis is actually now trying to counter artillery the Needlewerfer, or is it just again interdiction artillery? And once more it seems like DevM will be largely not bothered by it, which again is a bit unfortunate, as it's another barrage from the howitzer which is not really achieving much. I mean, since the last time we checked on, it's only killed 1 more man. That's not really a good record for an artillery gun. And there we go, Rifle running into once more a Blitzkrieg assault, completely storming it with the grenades. Ach du lieber. Grenadiers pushing into the center, supported by the Stu 42 and an MG 42. Symbiosis has been pushed back. He's having a bit of problem. He's having a hard time finding traction as the assault guns, and again his lack of mobility in his anti-tank weapons is making it much easier for DevM to actually maneuver about him, and he's actually doing it quite nicely. So again, quite the headache for Symbiosis in particular, when you then proceed to add in the two Nebelwerfers constantly raining down rockets. Quite a dire situation, rather than getting held up by the road. Oh, on the road, more specifically. It's not that's if the road itself has come alive to hold back the American invaders. Although I'm pretty sure Goebbels would like that. Rangers are advancing, stopping the Ranger Volksguns right there with the Thompson submachine guns. Bit of fraps issues. And Veteran 2 has appeared, full of panzers and the assault guns. Stu 42 Grenadiers fighting in the south a bit on their own. Nebelwerfer was actually a bit exposed there. My apologies for the technical issues. Sometimes you get those moments of instability. Rather than running into problems, getting gunned down by the MG42. Rangers making an advance up there, getting off a few bazooka rockets on the armored car. Artillery going down around here. Could it be on the Nebelwerfers?
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
Ah, there. Anyways, fighting continues. Armored car makes it out of there. Rangers fighting away, coming under fire from the armored car, quickly taking some nasty losses. Engineers pushing forwards. Rangers following up in the wake of the engineers. The engineers though quickly dropping. And there we go, Ranger 5 bazooka. Armored car gets blown to bits. A wreck it is now. Anti-tank gun gets off a few good hits on the Stug. And another Stug has been repaired. Manpower blitz up for DevM, quickly popping out a Sturmgeschützsphere and a Nebelwerfer more. He's actually lost one. Ah, yes, there we go. He actually got counter-artillery in the north. He did not move that one about a bit, and Symbiosis took advantage of that and blasted it into hell with an express ticket from Uncle Sam. And there we go. Grenadiers took a direct hit, completely obliterating, and the Panzergrenadiers they were equipped with a bit of a nasty hit, but actually scoring a hit with a Zauter, gaining Veteran 2 in the process, allowing his Zauter to actually fire more often. Nice. Stug opening up there on the engineers. Symbiosis, though, is finding himself heavily pressured, although it rather looks like he is saving together resources and command points for North Map combat groups in the hopes of turning back the crowd tide. And another Nebelwerfer there could get caught by the engineers. Looks like flamethrower engineers move. Oh, it's even close to a mine. That's really dangerous, in particular when there's a flamethrower moving in. That could... No, looks like they are pulling back. The Volksguns do manage to change the situation right there, but that could actually very quickly ended badly for that one Nebelwerfer. Another Blitzkrieg assault going in from the Grenadiers, although they are only Veterans 1, no further Veterans 2. Riflemen though getting caught in it and getting stunned, getting wounded, getting stopped. More arm moving in, but it might be too late because now there's a Stug opening up, and those riflemen grenades continue to land on the riflemen, killing, wounding, and stunning. Nasty stuff right there. Although the engineers might be finishing off the Grenadiers, gaining Veteran 2 on the process. And Veterans 3 up for DevM's assault guns, adding armored skirts to them. Not that he really has a lot to worry about from sticky bombs and bazookas. Rather moving up there, coming out of fire from the Stug. And there we go, riflemen suffer under the wrath of the Stug. Anti-tank guns getting blasted with incendiary rockets, scorching the roads and the fields. More rockets impacting near the anti-tank guns, causing quite a threatening situation as the Germans advance. And again, the problem is a bit... The Symbiosis can't really use its anti-tank guns in when they're in close proximity. Now, of course, we still have... Now we have actually a new sniper. Never mind, I was just about to say it was the same... I don't know, but he was dead, so unless he pulled off a Jesus and was resurrected. I mean, we're doing with a new one. And the Volkskriegs end up stunning their own sniper. Ach du lieber Heinz. Wo werfst du die Granate? Goddamn hiccups. We could see the Rangers actually go down. Very close, but the Volkskriegs end up instead taking most of the beating. The Stooks are still there. They're actually pulling back now. Desperate fighting by Symbiosis to regain some of the victory points.
Enemy unit down.
And looks like one squad of Volkskriegs were lost in the fighting in the tumultuous retreat. And once more the Needlewerfers fire away. Of course, they could be subjected to some artillery fire from Symbiosis 105mm howitzer. Meanwhile, the Stook continues to kill. 12 infantry kills on that one, 9 on that. And Tatanga's moving up, might try and get some hits off on the Sturmgeschütz. Raven getting sniped. Volkskriegs Pioneers moving in. Sticky bomb on the Stook. Oh, Needlewerfer. He actually had 3 Needlewerfers, so well, that one was perhaps recruited. Either way, might get hunted down by the Raven finish. Stook immobilized by the ridge. Artillery going down right here. Very close, actually destroying a lot, but not quite achieving it. And there we go, Needlewerfer crew dead, but could still be recruited. And there we go, off-map combat group providing 1 anti-tank and a Greyhound, Mortar, and Rifleman. Not quite the force I imagine that Symbiosis was hoping for. I imagine it might have been rhyming more with tank destroyers. But I imagine Symbiosis will be doing what he can with it nonetheless. Anti-tank are firing up, getting a nice hit on the side of the Stook. Greyhound continuing to be there, trying to block the path, make it easier for the anti-tanker to knock it out. Rifle moving in from the flank, or the rear in this case. Stook attacking there. Howitzer not really doing much at the moment. Stu moving up, 17 kills on that one. And a bit of quiet. More Stu 42 moving forward. And looks like the Stook was destroyed. Zerstören kaputt. Rifleman having secured 1 bazooka apparently. Howitzer still not doing much. Could again try to firing towards Needlewerfers. Volkskriegs with a BA on hand moving towards the west. A rather tenuous front line established by Symbiosis, but can it hold on? There we go, Howitzer firing away. Could it actually do some damage? And there we go, direct hit on the Needlewerfer, wrecking it, killing the crew in the process. Hit on the Stook as well.
We're down to 1 unit down.
Could have been fun if it actually been able to hit the mine just as the Stook was passing. And looks like we are seeing a full assault going in from the 17th SS. Several assault guns supported by infantry moving in from every conceivable angle, at least every possible angle. Could very well overwhelm Symbiosis, who is very much short on anti-tank assets. Mortar decrewed. And there we go. Grenade on the anti-tank and sorcerer allows the assault gun to advance. Anti-tank and firing there could get one of the Stooks. Could get. No, the crew dies just before they fire off one more shot. Absolutely tragic. Fighting going on towards the west. Rangers versus the MG42 Rifleman as well. MG42 does get the crew, but at the same time the rest of the map is more or less lost. For most of the first infantry has been broken. We do see a veterancy free on the Howitzer, but at this stage it's simply too little too late. And another anti-tank and utterly wrecked. Needlewerfer getting assaulted by the Rangers. Can the Rangers overcome it? Can they destroy it? Can they end it? And another Stook moving in. So many Stooks. Rifleman making another push, a last push, a desperate push from Symbiosis. But it is running into quite heavy opposition. Rangers getting hunted down by the assault guns. And I think we were looking at about 6 ones, Stug 4s and Stug 42s. All in all, nasty combination.
Krauts have cut forward supply lines. Allies are
Gonna
down to
kill on the
50
Stug, but I don't think that's going to do much.
Point is ours. What say we lock it down?
Getting a few more kills for the howitzer. Another assault gun wrecked. I mean, it's a tank gun. And a bit of off map, likely over here. Yes, indeed, but misses quite far off the mark. Just beating it a few last seconds. In fact, another off map combat group and GG. There we go. More or less the same as the previous round, but game over. Nice start from the Symbiosis, but things rather by the mid game rather turned towards the sour. I think that howitzer was the mistake. He should not have gone for it, partly because for a large part of the game it did not really do much damage. He had a great start and then he just fell off, so rather perhaps question would have been if he would not have benefited more from a tank depot and perhaps some tank destroyers to sort of create a more mobile fight. And the other problem was a bit, his anti-tank guns. He never quite got them where they could really have been needed, where they were useful. He was much more conservative with them, which rather allowed DevM to dominate a larger part of the map. So it's partly that, not really getting the full use of the anti-tank guns, not getting anything else that could really have helped against the Stugs, which rather allowed DevM to dominate the map so greatly in the long run. Of course, the medic station might also benefit a bit, but again, either that or Symbiosis could have gotten really lucky with the off-map combat groups and just tons of tank destroyers, but that's not something you should count on. So I think Symbiosis' mistake was not getting a tank depot and instead getting a howitzer. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.